So while watching this movie, I literally thought to myself, if this situation were to happen to me, who would I want to voice my inner thoughts the most? And other than the popular default answer, which is Morgan Freeman, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want Morgan Freeman to be the voice of their inner thoughts, I decided to go a little off-brand. My three in that category or in that decision would probably be Channing Tatum, Emma Stone, or Mahershala Ali. Channing Tatum is just freaking hilarious. I think having his voice as my inner thoughts would just make everything like 10 times funnier. Emma Stone, I would be the most dramatic person on the planet, and I would just fit in any scenario possible. If Mahershala Ali was my inner thoughts, I'd be the coolest guy on the planet, for sure. Or at least I feel like it. But those are my three, and this is Boy Kills World. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Boy Kills World, starring Bill Skarsgård, Jessica Rothe, Famke Janssen, H. Jon Benjamin, and was directed by, I believe his name is Moritz Moore. And basically our story follows Bill Skarsgård, who from a very young age was tormented by the death of his family, and basically he now is being trained by this shaman to rise up once he gets older and basically take down the head, honestly the head and the tail of this entire evil family corporation that just rules their world, or his world I should say. And basically it's a revenge story. Famke Janssen killed his family when he was younger. He wants revenge. He's going to do whatever he has to do to get revenge. Oh, and the cool concept about this revenge story is he doesn't have a voice. Yeah, when he was very young, he lost his voice, and the only voice he actually remembered was the voice of a video game. And so those are his inner thoughts, played by H. Jon Benjamin. And so you are watching Bill Skarsgård physically kick ass, while H. Jon Benjamin, figuratively or voicingly, however you want to put that, voicingly expresses his thoughts. And that is the gist of our movie. And look, I'll talk about what I liked first, because what I didn't like about the film will kind of just sound pretty dumb, but I'll get to that when I get to it. Well, it'll sound dumb to you guys maybe, but to me it actually made sense. But regardless, what I liked about the movie is the concept of the movie itself. I really enjoyed the whole inner thoughts being somebody different or voiced by somebody else, a video game that he saw as a child. That's the only voice he remembers in his head, so that's the voice that sticks with him. I love that concept because it works very well. Bill Skarsgård has great physical gestures. He has great facial expressions, body gestures. He does very well when it comes to roles that require a lot of physicality and things where he has to express things with just his face. Bill Skarsgård does an amazing job at that, and him and H. Jon Benjamin, that dynamic works. It's very funny. It's very thoroughly entertaining throughout the movie. It's honestly something that I felt like really made the film a lot more interesting than it was supposed to be, because I will talk about what I didn't think was interesting once we get to it. But that concept itself made this movie kind of stand out and made it really cool. Beyond that, the action in this movie is fucking awesome. The hand-to-hand combat is really cool. I'll say this, the bad guys in the movie are definitely on Stormtrooper level of terrible aim. They have there's honestly a lot of shit that happens in this movie that honestly you can really just throw logic and realism out the door once the very first like real fight scene starts. Just throw it all out the window, because this movie doesn't follow any realism or any logic whatsoever. They are just here to make a badass movie, which they honestly, in all senses, they kind of did that. There's just some things that are wrong with the movie that I keep alluding to, but I'll get to it when I get to it. But the action sequences in this movie are really fucking cool. Like, I love the hand-to-hand combat. I loved Bill Skarsgård playing this character. I thought he was fucking awesome. The shaman character is amazing. The shaman character is so fucking cool. I absolutely loved him. Jessica Rothe playing June 27th. I actually thought she was a big standout in the movie. I love Jessica Rothe from the Happy Death Day movies, and I'm glad she got to play a role like this. I thought they did a very good job of just making the action be very extravagant, over the top, and just really thrilling throughout the entire movie itself. I thought the action sequences were really dope. Like I said, the villains themselves, they definitely are in the stormtrooper category of bad aiming. But honestly, like I said, just throw logic out the window, and this is a movie you truly just need to have fun with. This is not a movie we are supposed to be taking seriously whatsoever. It is literally just a sit back, relax, turn your brain off, and watch dope shit happen on screen, and you get that. For sure, you definitely do get that. As far as the other characters go, Famke Janssen was okay. She was okay as the antagonist. Wasn't really the biggest standout, if I'm being completely honest, when it came to the villains. The one villain I think I enjoyed the most was probably Brett Gelman, who is always great at playing just a inevitable douchebag. He's very good at playing those roles, but he was very good in this movie. I really enjoyed his character. Famke Janssen, like I said, she was okay. Personally, I felt like her role could have been played by anybody. She didn't necessarily need to be in this movie, but I mean, she played a purpose because she was the main person that killed his family. But I felt like the main person that killed his family could have been a little more menacing, or I don't know. It's just, she did okay. Her part, I was just kind of like, you're doing fine, I guess. I didn't really like that. I think it was more so the angle they took with her character and what they did with Famke Janssen's character, because she really could have played a very menacing person. I've seen her in roles like that before. She's definitely, well, not Dark Phoenix, not the X-Men The Last Stand, but she has played villainous roles a little better than this one. She was okay. As far as the other cast goes, look, honestly, this is where I probably start getting into what I didn't necessarily like about the movie. The best parts of the movie have to do with Bill Skarsgård, Jessica Roth, the shaman character, honestly, all the action sequences, and really just H. Jon Benjamin being the voice expressional thoughts in Bill Skarsgård's head. Other than that, I will say I really thought this movie was going to be stronger as far as the plot goes. I thought that the family, the Vanderkoys, I thought they were going to either have more members and more just outrageous personalities to deal with the entire movie, like Brett Gelman's character and then the other sister played by Michelle Dockery. I thought there were going to be a lot more of them and just more kind of like, I don't know, I'm thinking of like The Raid, where basically I'm thinking he's going to go like level to each level. He's going to run into another family member who just has an absolutely outrageous skill, outrageous army, something to just keep adding to the level of what the fuck insanity that this movie was going for, but it's just never really got there. I think I was really expecting some extravagant, outrageous shit to happen, and we kind of played it safe all the way up until the end. And beyond that, the thing that I really didn't like about this movie was the plot itself, because, and this is completely on me, like I said, if this doesn't make sense to everybody else, I completely could understand, but I think this movie finally woke me up to the gist of a lot of action movies are just, they're simply revenge plots. And I don't think I've ever really noticed that. Like, revenge really drives maybe like 80% of action movies, and I guess it never really stood out to me because I was always either distracted by the great action or the movie was so good that, the plot didn't necessarily like stand out to me, that it was just very generic and it wasn't really anything to it. Like the John Wick movies. John Wick movies are very simple premises, but like, it's John Wick, so it's not like the action is so good and you're very invested in the guy getting revenge and the story and the world that he's in that has the Continental and all these different assassins. There are so many elements to John Wick that make you way more invested than you're I guess technically supposed to be, because it's really just a very generic basic plot going on, but everything surrounding that generic basic plot is interesting as hell, and it's why we love John Wick so fucking much. This movie here, it just didn't necessarily have enough around the generic plot to make me forget that, oh yeah, this plot is actually like really generic and basic as fuck. Now, they did try something at the end. They added a twist to the movie that I thought finally something interesting is happening in this plot to where it can actually get intriguing. I really like what they did with the twist, but it did not happen until the last like 15 minutes of the film. And this movie is like an hour and 51 minutes. So I felt like at times the movie was kind of dragging through this plot, because it's like, all right, I've seen this already in John Wick. I've seen it in Monkey Man, seen it in Sisu. I've seen it. I get what we're doing here. Can we add something in here pretty interesting to kind of move away from all these other action films that have been coming out recently? And they don't do that until the last 15 minutes, which all kudos to them, because it was a very cool twist. It was just like, for me though, the plot was outrageously just too boring. It was very just stick to the status quo. It did not do anything to try to be I can't say it didn't try to do anything. It was kind of a too little too late situation, because like I said, the twist that they add at the end, if they would have added that twist a little earlier in the film, like maybe like 10 minutes earlier, and would have went in another direction, which I can't really get into crazily because I don't want to spoil the movie, but if they went into another direction that I thought it was going in, or that it could have gone in once they introduced that twist, I felt like the movie would have been a lot better. And like I said, personally, I thought he was going to go through like levels of a building and just go through each family member, and we were going to meet a lot more outrageous personalities, and I thought it was just going to be a completely over-the-top, batshit crazy film, which there are definitely moments of that. Like I said, the action sequences are crazy, the blood, gore, it's great, the hand-to-hand combat's awesome, Bill Skarsgård is amazing. It was just the plot for me, it didn't necessarily work too well, but all in all, it's an action movie. You're not really supposed to take it that seriously anyway. And the plot, as I said in my previous review, I think it was Monkey Man, the plot is really like the fourth most important thing to an action movie anyway. It's like truly, as long as you have other good elements in the film as far as your action, your probably, I guess, the world you're creating the action movie around, if you can make that cool and stylistic, then honestly, the plot can really just be very simply revenge, and you just go. But it was crazy because I truly sat here watching this movie. I'm like, wow, revenge is really the gist of all these movies, huh? Because I just never noticed it, because there's just so much other shit going on to be just so intrigued by. It's just this movie didn't have enough of that for me, but still a pretty good time all in all. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Boy Kills World a 3.25 out of 5 stars. Okay, so Boy Kills World, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.